It's raining! So what better day to go into some museums?
Exit of that building and just follow the sidewalks down and around. These are all storefronts, so you look inside.
It is a cold and rainy day, and I'm in Oklahoma, so what better way to enjoy the day than to come to a couple of indoor spaces like this one. Yep, we're at the National Route 66 Museum in Elk City today. I'm gonna do a few stops along Route 66, I think, because it's a historic highway. Haven't done a whole lot of Route 66 through Oklahoma, and look at this museum, it looks really cool. Behind me they have a lot of the Route 66 shirts from the different stops, and I was just looking and like I can see I've been to several of these. Like this one, do you remember stopping here, guys? Yeah, we went there. Do you remember this one? Yep, we definitely went through all of the California stops. And then, let's see, we're in Oklahoma now. We've been through Santa Fe. Yeah, we've been to a lot of these. Now, Route 66 starts off in Chicago, and I haven't been to where it actually originates and starts. So this is a cool way to start the trip around the National Route 66 Museum. It's going to tell us the entire route as we go along the road right here. It's pretty cool because Route 66 runs all the way from Chicago over to California. There's tons of stops still there. It was one of the original like super highways at the time. There's so many cool things there, and even today you can still find a lot of the old storefronts, the cool old roadside stops that would bring people in, the attractions. It's just a really neat road. So guess what, guys? Not only did we see the Jackrabbit Trading Post, which we've obviously been to, but looky here. I'm always looking for bunnies. This area has some of the coolest little sections. It kind of walks you through the different stops.
If you haven't stopped here yet, you haven't been in the Southwest. See the Indian Village, jewelry, rugs, Kachina dolls, sale, 50% off. Stop.
Pretty cool. You can stop under those. It tells you a little bit about the stops themselves that were so popularized. And they have all the vintage cars and several different things that were popular during those times. This is potentially one of the coolest things. Do you remember the movie The Grapes of Wrath? There it is. So if you take the map that they give you in the front office, they actually have all of these different stops that you can stop off at. And they're buildings that were brought in and have been recreated how they might have looked whenever they were functioning. So for example, this one has a doctor's office in here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, but all the different ones have different things. So you get to explore all of these cool little properties as you walk around. Now, this porch is keeping us dry, so I don't mind being out here. I'm not melting. It's raining. The things are good for an adventure. This entire section is filled with storefronts, so you could go down this boardwalk right here and look in and get a glimpse of what was going on with a few kind of creepy looking mannequins, not gonna lie. This guy over here, he scared me a little bit when I turned the corner, but let's look inside. Stairs in the rain, only for you guys. Okay, we're gonna take it to school now. This is apparently the schoolhouse. There's a bell out there, and then there's the more recent bell. And then I found these guys. Building number 5 is the first wooden home built in Elk City. And they have it all fixed up here. It's not very big, but at the same time, it has everything you could have possibly needed in here. So check this out. It's a tiny home before tiny homes were cool. Building that we get to walk into is called the Old Town Museum, and as you can see, it is set up like an old home would have been. There's a brochure that tells you a little bit about the home itself, and then you can kind of walk through and see all the antiques and things like that as you go. It's really interesting. The first room is really huge. As you can see, there's like a dining room and living space, and then there's a bedroom like immediately behind you. So let's go explore. Over here are a bunch of old cameras. Oh, how far we have come. Look at these. My camera looks nothing like that. And then, you know, between my GoPro and my Canon and my iPhone, so far we have come. I'm so happy we don't do this anymore. Like, what is that? We came up these stairs and you're in the rodeo world. So this is a hall of all things rodeo, and of course, because we're in Oklahoma, that really makes sense. Look at this. This is all leather, and it's luggage, and it's like hand pressed, so it's probably one of a kind, and really probably quite expensive. Let's look around. Exceptional. They have a timeline of all the different years, and then also several of the best of the best in another cabinet over here, and all of them have these awesome illustrations. Kudos to the artists. After going upstairs, now we're winding our way back to the front where we're going to go out and get in the rain again. There's more to the Route 66 Museum outside. So let's go see what else is out there. is the train depot next to a caboose and a TP. There's so much stuff out here. There's a whole area of farm equipment also that we're gonna have to check out. Now this looks like you can probably at some point go in there, but not today. It's locked. Let's go inside. Let's go in. This thing is an awesome windbreak. The little cheeks are pink. And thank goodness for this piece of concrete right now because it is wet outside. We're in shelter though, for a minute. We can see all of the different farm and ranch equipment and then some of the cool things that it does and throughout history how it's changed. Some little demo areas back here where you can actually see the purpose of certain items and how they were practically used by people. And then there are these huge windmills. Now they're nothing in comparison to the wind farms that we have today, but they're really neat. So I'm gonna walk over and show you this big guy, which I want to say is probably 15 feet tall from blade to blade. I was off by like a foot. Don't get mad at me. There's this whole section with tools and tools and tools and tools and more tools. This is a lot of tools. Oh, I know what that one is. And this one is about the industry of cotton and how it used to have a big cotton gin here. This is one of the last two, like, compressed, I guess you would call it, bales of cotton to come out of this area. So they used to pick it into these big long sacks like this, and then they would take it and make it into those big bales like that. Okay. Look at all these cool cars. It's warm in here, but all good things must come to an end, so we're back outside. Let's go outside to the cold, in the rain, in the rain.
We're
going back in because I'm getting cold. This is building number 1. We kind of went in a weird order. Okay, so we're gonna start the cruise by pushing the little button, the gas pedal. So in this next exhibit, you actually get in, push the button, it activates this panel that has 4 different numbers. You select a movie that you want to watch. It's kind of like the drive-in. So let's hit the button so we have sound, and let's hit number 2. So we've gone through all of this museum, all of the different parts of this museum, but there's one last thing that I have to do before we hit the road. So, are you ready? I'm a little nervous, but I've always wanted to go down a fire pole. Let's go! Okay, that was much more difficult than I think it should have been. With that being said, thanks for tuning in and coming with me to the National Historic Route 66 Museum, the Old Town Museum, and the Farm and Ranch Museum across the way. We are in Elk City. It's been fun, but it's time to hit the road.